Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the patient weather forecast for October 5th, 2025. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. Want to just remind you that there will be a super harvest moon overhead on October 6th. That always has mood implications besides just being plain beautiful. I also like to add that the Feast of the Hunter's Moon will take place on October 11th and 12th in Lafayette, Indiana. In the 10 years that we spent living in Lafayette, Indiana, I don't think I missed it ever once. And looking at our surface map for the 5th, we have high pressure still dominating most of the east and trying to build into the northwest. But there will be a massive cool front, maybe the first light of the season, running from the upper northeastern portions of Minnesota across Iowa through Kansas into a little developing low pressure center over the Oklahoma panhandle and then stretching down through New Mexico. Looking at our vitality index, which is a composite map showing where all of the different weather elements that can impact human health are, we can see that there is a significant area of weather health activity up through the Great Lakes and Northern Plains, stretching all the way back into New Mexico. And then we do have that onshore flow, just a lot of moisture running across Florida and those coastal portions of the Gulf. Looking at pressure change, one of the elements that does impact quite a lot of people, we have significant area of rising pressure, literally from Montana through Wyoming, up the plains from Nebraska into North and South Dakota, and stretching east into Minnesota. Jumping over to temperature change, some significant temperature change finally, but we do see a little bit of a bubble of warming pressure here on coastal Washington, Oregon, a little bubble of warming pressure across northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and northern Maine. But the area of interest, of course, is this significant cooling behind that cold front, stretching from Minnesota clear on down through Nebraska, just touching into Colorado and picking up a bit here in Wyoming. But this is the first really sharp influx of cold air, and there probably will be some freeze warnings, maybe some even snow in upper elevations. Looking at dew point temperature change, we can see that we have rising dew point temperatures here in the southeast, and again, that's a lot of onshore flow. We have falling dew point temperatures in the Pacific Northwest and falling dew point temperatures behind that front across the northern plains. As we look at vapor pressure, a little bit more significant way to look at moisture in the atmosphere, you can see we have rising vapor pressures across the southeast, and this one's a little more expansive than just the dew point temperature change running from eastern Texas does highlight that area of significant increase across Louisiana, Mississippi, but it also stretches on through the mountains of North Carolina into central Virginia. Falling, of course, vapor pressure up here in the plains behind that front. Looking at instability, the measure of potential thunderstorm activity, you can see we have a bit of that up here in the Minnesota, Wisconsin area, but the real significant area of showers, thunder showers across southern Florida in that warm waters of the Gulf. Looking at POI, or the Peterlin Oxyweather Index, it's a measure of the oxygen availability in the atmosphere. We're going to look at the migraine risk, and it seems to be quite expansive and quite significant across the northern plains from the northern Rockies, but really starting in southern Idaho, stretching across Montana, becoming significant in Wyoming, and really bubbling up into a risk of migraine across Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, just touching portions of Iowa and stretching on into northern Wisconsin. We do have an area of arthritis and asthma risk, and an unusual one across the state of California, right along the coastal areas of Washington and Oregon. We pick up another area of arthritis and asthma risk here from the middle Mississippi Valley, stretching from Arkansas, getting significant in western Tennessee and northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and stretching across the mountains into the mountains of North Carolina and central Virginia. another area of asthma and arthritis risk here in the northern portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.